The biggest problem a trader faces is to get the idea of what's trending right now in the market and what is the correct market setup, because normally if you're trading in the conventional workflow, you would have at least 50 stocks in your watch list and you keep on refreshing them to make sure that they are in your right setup, and only then you are able to enter. But that's exactly where Draconic comes in, especially with the Sparks feature. It keeps on scanning the markets for perfect opportunity for you, and you can use Draconic's terminal to validate the opportunity, to confirm the structure formation, and to see the strength is real or not. For example, I just opened the Sparks terminal and we are seeing what the session bias is right now. It says majority trend is bearish. So if you are seeing any momentum or any money flowing into a particular sector, that is a good candidate for pullback. Or if you are seeing a candidate or a sector out of which the money is constantly flowing out, that is a good candidate for shorting further. With that context, we see what are the different updates that it has provided me. It tells me the session is live. It tells me banking sector are holding 0.04 acceptance floor. Kotak Bank is leading the anchor. IDFC First Bank velocity is high and it is top of the banking sector. So again, in general, banking sector seem to be holding well. It's not that they are doing great, but in the market that is already falling. Holding your own is a big deal in itself. And that's why, for example, IDFC First is a stock that I have traded multiple times and I'm comfortable doing that. It gives us good enough momentum to give us the good breakout trades. That's why I just click on it to get Draconic to research it further. That's the usual structure. I get an insight from Sparks and then I discuss that further with Draconic to confirm if the setup is real. Do I need to know anything else about the setup? Do I need to know if the strength in the stock is still relevant? Now look at what Draconic did for me. I just clicked over here and it told the terminal to analyze the velocity leader IDFC First. This is the chart as you can see, and what I'm seeing is different swing zone velocities, and it tells me the acceleration and the magnitude of the acceleration. Now these are the different points: A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F, and F to G. So these are the different analysis points of IDFC First that it has done for me within the intraday time zone. The time period is 5 minutes. Now the stock actually, the day high was at 80.87 and the stock low during the day was 78.30, and then we move down further to read what the exact analysis is. It says sharp upward acceleration but momentum starting to decay, so the exhaustion might be there. Now look at what the detailed insight it gives me. At 15:07, when the card was published, the first insight was generated. IDFC First was exhibiting extreme velocity at the top of the banking sector. The fresh fetch, that is the current analysis, at 15:10 confirms the momentum decay highlighted in the hook. So the momentum is slightly decaying. Now had I just directly seen the insight and gone directly to trade, I could have missed the exhaustion. That's why this post analysis is very important. It goes on to say that there is a possibility of pullback to 78.81 level, and the deceleration is structurally driven by aggressive intraday selling. Cumulative volume delta tracking at moderate selling bias and a shift in dominance back to the downside. So it tells me the current structure is showing a cool down and there's a prominent downside available. But not just that, it highlights me the key levels: 78.95, 78.84, 78.58, 78.16. These are the key significance level due to different reasons that it highlights: the session low, the structure support, the volume area low. And at last, it tells me the most important thing: what are the different possible scenarios. It tells me first the reclamation scenario. It tells me if the price can be pushed beyond 78.84 level, then aggressive sellers would be absorbed and the price could be cleared to 79.08 levels. And this is where the structure becomes very important and very useful, because what I want now is to take the trade in this stock because I'm personally very comfortable with it. So what I would ask Draconic is to tell me what should change in the structure of the charts, or what should change in the structure of the setup, so that I am able to take a positive trade or a long side trade in the stock. And that's exactly what it tells me. Now we'll analyze it together to see what it informed me about the setup. First up, it talks about volume area acceptance. Price must break and sustain close above 78.84, establishing acceptance back within the session value area. This is important because the next day, because the day is about to end, tomorrow if I am to take a positive trade, or if I want to see how the momentum of the stock is, or if I want to take a buy today sell tomorrow trade, then it is important that the stock closes above 78.84 level. Trend alignment: price is trading below descending 8, 21 and 50 EMAs. Now EMAs are a good proxy to the trend, and if we see that they are on the declining trend, then it clearly establishes that in the shorter term duration at least, the stock is going towards a downward momentum. And therefore it tells me a structural crossover and hold above 8 and 21 EMAs to neutralize the immediate downward slope is important if I am to take a positive trade. The third criteria that it clearly defines is swing structure, formation of a higher low above 78.58 followed by a break of 79.08 swing to confirm trend transition. And at last, two of the very important analysis point, that is order flow and volume and velocity. So a shift to positive CVD or a notable flattening of CVD during pullbacks, indicating aggressive buyers are absorbing the selling pressure, which ultimately tells me that the price should also be backed by volume, and only then I can enter a sustainable long side trade in the stock. And then at last, what is the current state of velocity? It clearly tells me momentum is stalling and cooling, which is not very favorable if you are going to take a long trade, and that's why the momentum needs to shift. And at last, it also gives me a very important option chain analysis, because many of the traders just look at the chart and forget the option chain, but it gave me the analysis that option chain maintains a thick wall of call open interest overhead at 0.49 put call ratio, which means any attempted upward move is going to be aggressively shorted. So that's why breakdown is very important at these levels. Now, as you can see, right from idea generation to complete analysis and position analysis, all that was taken care of in a single screen. I did not have to go to any of the TradingView or the NSE website to generate stock ideas. I did not have to analyze multiple different charts. The insight was generated right within Sparks. The analysis was carried out right within the terminal, and what had to change for me to be able to enter it, all that analysis happened right within here. And that's why this setup is very strong, because you retain your trader mindset. You're not jumping across different websites just to confirm a position in one single stock. And the most important part of this entire process is that Draconic tells me the things which chart does not tells me 100% of the time. Sparks help me generate the surface idea, but to go into depth of it, to break it down, to confirm if the setup still exists, Draconic assists me in that process. And nowhere during this Draconic tells me outrightly that you should buy this stock, you should sell this stock, but it helps me 100% to cross check everything. But this is much better way to validate rather than rushing from surface level conviction to a live trade.